Let's talk anime! Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, the Reckless Amoeba podcast. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me are my two co-hosts, Brandon Falinger.
That's a two. Get the hell out of here, you people. I hate you all.
And we're doing the dice thing again. Which will probably be a recurring joke for the next few episodes. Also,
I mean, no, this is staying. This is permanent. We're never getting rid of this. I love it.
Oh, okay, I better get my dice too.
It's our new D&D show.
And it fell off my desk.
Good job.
Also, Ryan Stokiel is here.
That was a 7. Hello.
So guys, are you familiar with Bat in the Sun?
I don't think so.
They make
Nope.
really interesting superhero fights, like, who do they have? Like Joker versus Deadpool?
I mean, do they cross over
The live action one?
Yeah.
characters? Like, from different series?
Yeah, from like,
And when I say that, I mean, like, not just comic book series. Like, do they expand out further?
I think they do now and then, because I think they had somebody from The Walking Dead against the Joker in a very recent episode. But I saw they are going to have a very interesting film. Ryu, from the Street Fighter, gets Power Ranger powers
Whoa.
for some obscure reason.
Back up. The Street Fighter from the Street Fighter.
Yes.
The one and only Street Fighter.
Yes.
Not series, just the one Street Fighter.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
So stupid.
No,
Wait.
there was a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme called The Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were kind of referencing.
No, I thought you were referencing the game.
Oh, I am.
This can't be good. This can never be good. Because this is another room situation, isn't it? Where something stupid happened.
But it's Bat in the Sun, which makes really amazing fight choreography. So if this is anything like that, I'm expecting, like, actually good fight scenes without any camp.
I mean, you could just watch Death Battle. They do the same thing, basically, but they pull from everywhere. Like, they did Superman vs. Goku twice.
I think I saw one of them.
Yeah, I saw those. I saw, the live action one. There's Predator versus Wolverine.
Ooh.
There are quite a few that are pretty good in there. I remember the hilarious one of Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black.
What about Deadpool versus that one pony?
Pinkie Pie? Because obviously the two fourth wall breaking characters obviously need to break the fourth wall. And, chaos ensues because of it.
That's like the 8-bit or 16-bit fighting.
Well, they do both. They have some CG ones. They have the 16 bits. And then I think a handful of times, like the Predator versus Wolverine one you mentioned is,
No, I meant like the
Actually-
live action one that Brandon was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But,
that
yeah.
and they have Deadpool. I saw Deadpool versus Batman.
They had another one, on Death Battle where they did Spider-Man versus, Batman. Because both of them are kind of intelligent. And they say Batman has time to prepare these things, but so does Spider-Man. So, shit gets clever.
And then they had, like, Batman versus Tony Stark because they're both millionaires.
Are you kidding me? It's just a money fight. They just throw piles of money at each other. That's just that fight. It's like they're in the Scrooge McDuck vault. They're just throwing piles of dollar bills at each other.
DuckTales, woo!
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Throw in Scrooge McDuck on top of that. May as well. They're just gonna keep throwing money at each other.
Although I haven't been watching the series, I heard somebody from Tailspin showed up.
I'm trying to think who that might be. I
Dark
would assume.
Carnage.
Who?
The French, like, coyote.
Oh, the wolf captain, like,
yes.
Sky Captain.
Yes, I heard he was going to be in a recent episode.
Oh, that'd be cool. I loved his please tell me they got, like, the original voice actor back, because he was hilarious.
I do not
so
know.
Stupid. Yes, I know what we're talking about, or something like that.
No,
So
wait,
dumb.
what was his catchphrase? Like,
I don't remember.
It was
been
like,
too long.
yes, no. It's like, follow my directions, yes, no.
I don't remember. It's been way too long.
Oh, I love Tailspin.
He was so stupid. And I loved it.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, the theme song to Tailspin was hype. You could not love that song anymore.
I was thinking of... Wait. Talking about DuckTales or Tailspin?
Both.
Both, technically. Because apparently there's a crossover, or a cameo from one of the characters of Tailspin.
Jim Cummings came back to voice Don Carnage.
Yes! Oh, I love that voice! It's so good!
I will have to find that episode.
I need to watch that. I need to watch that later today. It's beautiful. Oh my god.
Just a little post-recording correction. Don Carnage is not still voiced by Jim Cummings. Instead, he is voiced by Jamie Kamel. Yes, I'm disappointed too. Anyway, back to the podcast. So now that we've covered two things already, guys, anything else?
I watched...
Go ahead. You go first.
I watched Father of the Year on Netflix.
Oh yeah? How was that?
I guess it just came out today with David Spade.
Okay.
It's actually pretty funny. It's one of those Adam Sandler movies.
Oh no.
But it was actually, like, funny.
So
like,
it was legitimately decent then, and not just cringe decent.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're not talking about, like, Pixels level.
No, nothing.
So is it
It's actually...
Wait, never mind. I typed in Father of the Bride. Never mind. And I was like, wait, is it a remake?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's, David Spade lives in a trailer park. He's just like this trash guy. He's like trash human. It's freaking hilarious. Cause the whole movie is just about him, the main character and his buddy have like some dumb argument where they think like their dads are like could beat each other up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then David Spade's character is like drunk and goes to fight the dad. It's actually funny. You just have to see it. It's like
I'll have to take your word for it for now until I see it with my own eyes.
Yeah, the premise is sounds dumb, but it's actually funny.
And I think I mentioned this to you, Brandon, but there was recently an Adam Sandler movie that got pretty good reviews, but it was a drama. Like the Mirror Witch stories, New and Selected.
That does not sound like an Adam Sandler movie.
I don't think
yeah, where he's like a director or something like that.
I think so, and like Ben Stiller is in it.
Yeah.
And they're like estranged brothers that need to come back to their dying father or something like that, so...
Like I said, it does not sound like something Sandler would do. He's normally 100% comedy. Very rarely does he ever do anything that's serious like that.
I did hear there are, like, some humor bits in it, but...
Yeah, but you're saying it's mostly a drama,
yeah,
which
but the humor
doesn't gel with
stay
him usually.
long. It's more like little chuckles than laugh out loud.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like something he would normally do. So either somebody convinced him to do it, I feel like, or maybe it was one of the other actor friends he has that was like, "Hey, dude, I really want to do this. Think you can help produce it?" It's just, look, we'll take you on a vacation if you do.
He was starring in a nothing else, from what I can see.
Yeah, again, Adam Sandler barely ever does anything that's not comedy. It's weird. Like, he just refuses to do anything different. So to hear that he's doing a drama is just strange to me. I guess it's my turn unless Orion's got anything else to say.
Oh, that's it, dude.
Brandon, I know you're going to love this. So, you know that thing I spent way too much money on?
You mean the $200 Lolicon Jack the Ripper? Yes.
That I failed to get still?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait, you still trying?
No! I could have, technically. I could have with this. I ended up throwing like $40 more at it, right? And because it came out with like, oh man, it's the anniversary for the game coming out, we're gonna give you a guaranteed summon. So like, oh, okay, I'm in on this. Now you're guaranteed to get like one of the high level servants out of that. So like anything that would be like level 5 or higher.
Yeah.
Well, not higher, but like the ranking system is based on star level. So 5-star servant is the highest level of servant. So that's where you get like Joan of Arc and like Saber, and all these other ones, right?
Yeah.
Jack the Ripper is also included in that. And then they divided it up into 2 separate ones by class. Now you can only do it once. So I'm like, man, what do I want to do? Cause like, one's like, you have the chance at, what is it? It's Assassin, Caster, Rider, and Berserker class in one of them. And it's like, Jack's in that one, I could go for that. Or I could go for the one that's extra classes, like the Ruler class, Sabers, Archers, and Lancers. And I'm like, I really want Joan of Arc, though. So I threw money at it, so I could try the one-time summon. So I'm like, I'm guaranteed at least something out of this. So long as I don't get a duplicate, I don't care.
You got a duplicate.
I did not get a duplicate. I did not.
Who did you get?
They did the same thing, like in, I think it was around Thanksgiving for us. They came out with the same thing, just, with less character options, just because of the fact that they hadn't been introduced to the game yet. And I got freaking Saber again. I got Arturia a second time off of that. And I'm like, why? But this time that did not happen. This time, I got Mordred.
Ooh.
And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not even mad. That's a pretty good one. Just because I love this character, too.
Is there any special Mordred, like, armorless Mordred, swimsuit Mordred? Wait, why am I talking like she's Samus?
I mean, you're not wrong. When you level up, or I guess the technical term of this is to ascend the character to its final level. In Mordred's case, yes, she drops the armor at the end of her final ascension.
So, is this hentai all of a sudden? The more she powers up, the more clothes she takes off.
Depends on the character, because it kind of goes the opposite for Arturia.
Oh.
Because she puts on more clothes. Like, the first one, you just see her in, like, the blue dress, then she gets, like, the armor from Fate Stay Night, and then she's got, like, the blue, like, fur-trimmed cape and her crown on her final level.
But then again, Mordred did have short shorts and a tube top, if I'm remembering correctly, in her civilian form.
Yes, and she has something similar to that. She has, like, a tube top, as well as, like, kind of like like an old-style tabard down at the waist and lower. She's got, like, short high heels, and I think, stockings as well, leading up to the tabard. And also, yes, there's a swimsuit event that's coming up, I think, either at the end of this, further into the end of this month, or the start of next month.
Oh.
So there'll be, like, swimsuit servants, and Mordred is one of the swimsuit servants. But with the swimsuits, they get a class change. She becomes a rider instead of a saber class. Because she's a surfboarder now. And the surfboard looks like the sheath for freaking Excalibur. Arturia shows up and she's got, like, Excalibur shoved into, like, a freaking super soaker, and she's an archer now. It's great. It's so stupid and I love it.
That sounds
so there was that.
So dumb, but so
It
good.
is. It is. I'm saving up like my free premium currency in order to like get something out of that. I don't know what yet. I'm gonna try to shoot for Arturia just because from what like I saw as far as like rankings go for servants, that version of her is pretty damn high, and I do not have a decent archer. So I'm like, we'll throw it at that summon because the other two options are like Marie Antoinette and Saint Martha as like the three featured ones. So Saint Martha, Marie Antoinette, and Arturia are on that summon list. And the only reason I know this is because we're like a year and a half behind Japan's version of the game. So we can basically use that to assume where and when things are coming more or less. Because we're slightly faster by, I think, a month or so. But yeah, there was that. There was a recent auction as well at a local tech school. And I was looking around there because it's like, there's a lot of PC stuff that went on sale, so I'm going to take a look. Because I wanted what I'm looking for is another monitor, and everything there was literally from 2011 or older, and I'm like, I can't use this! It's 9 years old! Like, at minimum.
Yeah.
Or at maximum, at least, from like a 2009 screen, it's freaking 9 years old. I can't use that now. It doesn't even have HDMI. It's serial still.
Ew, that sounds disgusting.
I can't use that. It's
serial.
Because they're upgrading their shit. So they're clearing out all the garbage and trying to sell it. In the end, I didn't end up buying anything. However, I still came away with something. What I ended up getting is a floppy drive. I think it's a Dell floppy drive too. I don't see it's a Dell floppy drive. Because what the auctioneer ended up doing was like bundling a bunch of stuff that was on a table together, and then included like a slightly broken metal toolbox that I'm sure you could fix fairly easily, and two like corded drill looking things. I don't know what they were offhand. So I have that now if I ever need to use it for floppies.
Which
I know
probably won't.
Unless I want to play like old shitty games. Even then, I'd probably have to like jump through hoops to get it to work, but still.
Terrible games you probably never even heard of.
Actually, I bought a couple years ago, 2, maybe 3. I bought like an old Monty Python game from back in the day. A couple of them, actually. I don't remember if they were on, I think they were on floppies, actually. So with this, I could probably actually start trying to make them work. So that'd be interesting.
But anyway.
Phone going off. Oh boy, that's fun.
Yay. But anyway, Fooly Cooly time. Fooly Cooly progressive.
Wow.
So, Ryan, we already discussed Fooly Cooly before. So, Fooly Cooly season, or in this case, series 1 was about space aliens with guitars. Four-headed
Space
robots.
aliens in quotes.
Yes.
Because we don't even know.
Massive, massive quotes. And lots of sexual innuendos. So, Ryan, what is season 2 about?
Whatever
we'll give them this. All right, I'll give them this.
Season wasn't about.
I was gonna say I'll give them this. There's only like one character that comes back from the previous series.
2, kind of.
I don't even remember the characters.
Oh, okay. If you don't really remember it.
I don't.
Do you want to dive into it now?
Yes.
I guess.
Okay. Rhiannon, do you want to begin?
I don't know where to start, to be honest. Just because I don't know how much I want to say and how much I want to save.
Yes, since we are doing a deep end on this.
Like, there's a lot of questions, I'm not gonna lie. And this one, they've built up the world a bit more than in the first one, but it's kind of like, you've just opened Pandora's box, and now there's another box inside of that box. I don't know what's going on. It makes it even more confusing, because now it's like, but you're not answering the big questions. I still have more.
Well, our main character this time is a 14-year-old girl who is somewhat of an introvert.
Somewhat kind of, I feel like you're indecipherable when you're saying somewhat. She's definitely an introvert.
Well, her mother describes her as tsundere, but she does not come across as, like, typical ticks in the tsundere category.
It wasn't just her mom. It was Haruko, too, I think, has called her that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Remember in the scene where she's, like, straddling freaking Ide?
Oh.
By the way, I talked to you about this at one point where it was, like, name meanings and what they might mean for the characters themselves, right?
Oh, did you find an answer?
No, Hidomi is still not a word that exists as far as like a Japanese name goes. Short of it being just for like a childish way of referring to the name Hitomi. However, I looked up Ide's name. You know what I found out?
That's not real either?
No, it's real. It's not Japanese, but it is Irish. Or at least this is the first answer I found anyway. And do you want to know what that name means?
Potato?
No. This is definitely Ide's character for sure.
Ide dick?
You're getting close, but no.
Yes?
No.
What?
That boy's thirsty. He's real thirsty. His name just needs thirsty.
What?
And man, is that boy thirsty. Oh boy. So beautiful. I was losing my, like, shit when I found that out. Like, if I was drinking at that point, I would have been doing a spit take immediately. Like, I saw it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, are you serious? This is what his name means? Because it's too perfect for him. So perfect. Oh, God. Alright. So, yeah, you continue on now. But, yeah, the point where, like, she's, where, what's her face? Haruko's straddling Ide is a point where she, like, refers to her as, like, tsundere at that point, or just before that scene. One of the two.
And let's just add in, this takes place in the same universe. And
It's actually in the same town, too.
because the metal mechanica plant is still seen up on the hilltop.
Well, that's the thing, right? We don't know if there's more medical mechanica plants around the world.
Although Hidomi's dream in the first episode showed, like, 6 plants speeding across the desert.
That was also in the original. They also showed a scene like that, though it was more explaining what medical mechanica does in that it kind of flattens out, like, the world. Like, we got a scene of that on another planet, of them just steamrolling everything with those iron-shaped factories.
So, where the fuck does this show take place?
In a small Japanese town.
Where
Okay.
nothing happens, everything stays the same.
Well, nothing interesting happens and everything stays the same.
Oh, that's a line that Naruto said it in the first series.
First series,
Yes,
and
yes,
then this girl says in the same. This is the same thing on the first episode. But yeah, again, it's the same town. I looked into this. It is the exact same town.
Well, things kind of did change, because Haruko, the crazy quote-unquote space alien, is now...
Who's apparently confirmed to be 16 in this?
Even though she's claimed to be 18 in the first series?
Well, in the first series, we also had a question mark behind her age. In this one, when they had her age show, it was definite. And time has passed between the first series and the second one.
So, is she an alien?
She doesn't age, so I don't fucking know.
We'll get into this later.
She an android?
I haven't seen her bleed, maybe.
But she split into two people.
Yes.
I believe her name is now technically Raharu, and her other half is Julia. And, oh my god.
Julia?
Haru.
Yeah, Julia Jinyu.
Oh, okay, first name.
Yeah, but I think Julia is one of my favorite characters this season, because
It's kind of funny, because they never refer to her as Julia, it's always Jinyu.
I think in the first episode she says she was Julia Jinyu, but then from then on she was called Jinyu.
That is the one thing I do like about this, right? I do like the fact that they make an effort to try to keep the Japanese in this to a degree. They refer to her as Jinyu. They don't use, like, her, I guess, proper name in that one. I like the fact that they splice in Japanese words as well.
Especially Haruko.
Yeah. I do like that. I like that a lot. I almost feel like, so long as it's appropriate to, like, the anime itself, I'd like to see it happen more. Like, it makes it feel like you're still connecting to where it originates.
But our white-haired anti-hero kind of is...
Well, I've got stuff to say about that when we get to Diva End. I don't want to dive here.
But she is so stoic.
Yes.
So stoic. So
and again,
much,
I have a feeling I know why, but continue.
And you'll probably bounce back and forth there, but so much so,
Yeah.
in episode 3, Haruko buries her in concrete to prevent her from helping out Hidomi. But as she's buried in concrete,
She's in a concrete cocoon, literally.
Waves, like, nearly completely washing over her, she's giving this big, long speech.
Like, just a long monologue. And it's like, and the character that's hearing it can't see her for shit. And it's like, is she just talking through the waves? Like, is she talking through the water? What's going on? Let's also not forget that she has, like, what is it, like a 1970s Chevrolet, or Bel Air, I think it is?
That she can, like, drive telepathically?
That A, she can drive telepathically, B, can fly, and C, can halfway transform into a fucking robot.
So there are robots in this. Less so than in the first.
Mm-hmm.
Which disappointed me a little bit.
I don't know.
I
don't know how I feel about it.
I was expecting, like, a few more robot fights, but not so much more.
Well, the first one was always like, well, something pops out of somebody's head. It's a robot. We need to kill it. Conti, come in here and go crazy. Right? And then in this one, it's a bit more character-driven rather than, like, monster of the day.
And less formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
But there are still a lot of analogies for puberty and innuendos.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And headphones
Like,
that drill into your skull.
Yeah, as you know, as you do.
Ryan, are you wearing headphones right now?
Yep.
Oh shit, you could be screwed.
Quite literally.
Terrible. Terrible. Uh-huh.
You know, maybe then he'll have a completely different personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because midway through the series, her headphones drill into her skull, and she becomes...
The exact opposite of a tsundere?
So bubbly. Like, I think it was called Genki at one point. Genki Girl?
Is that what? I've heard the word Genki before, and I don't remember what it means.
So she's, like, hyperactive, laughing at everything, kind of childish?
Interesting. I just looked it up. Hold on. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Hold on. Genki desuka basically means, are you fine, energetic, feeling healthy, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I am Genki, or no, I am not. So Genki basically means fine, or energetic, or healthy.
That's one way to describe her. Energetic.
Yes. Like, she is very ADD.
What character is this?
The main character, Hidomi.
Who is kind of keeps to herself throughout the first half of the series.
Yeah, like the first 3 episodes, she's literally just like introverted, doesn't really talk to anyone, tries to keep to herself, only talks to others when absolutely necessary. And then episode 4 comes in, and all of a sudden she's like this pillowy cloud of like just, oh my god, everything's beautiful, this is a great day, laughing constantly, just completely outgoing and just ADD and crazy. And according to Jinyu, I think it was Jinyu, she says that it's apparently because of radio wave interference or something with the headphones.
Yeah, I feel like I'll need to watch this a few more times to fully understand this.
You still won't.
Hey, I've watched Fooly Cooly about 5-6 times, but then again, it's been like 15 years that it was out, so...
Yeah, you still don't understand the first one.
I understand it like 60-70%.
Yeah, where's that other 30? Or 40?
I read the plot a lot while you guys were talking, and I don't understand. So...
Oh, but here's the fun part. There's going to be another series coming out in September, I believe. Also, 6 episodes. I think Haruko is back
September
in that.
8th, I think.
Okay.
Alternative is. Either that or it's right around that date. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's the 8th.
So it takes place in the same town?
Yeah, I think it takes place in a town over. At least that's what we got from, like, the little snapshot, at the very end of the series. Like, at the end of the credits of the 6th episode.
Although, the first episode did premiere April Fool's Day here in the States, but with Japanese audio, English subtitles as part of Adult Swim's April Fool's special, where everything was Japanese dubbed.
I mean, I feel like there's a genre of us, myself included, that would much prefer that.
Yeah, and I don't mean that in any negative way, but I'm just saying...
Oh, neither do I.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the joke this year. Japanese audio.
That's the thing, right? With this one, I think I've said this in the first one, too. This is one of those series where it's like, you could easily just watch either version, and both of them are very good. Like, whether it's dub or sub, they're very good either way. The cast is great. They follow things, and they don't, alter it very much. Like, in the first one, all they really did that I think I ever really noticed was, what was it? It was, the change of, a brand of soda to fit a joke. One of which was one from Japan, and the one for the dub was in Crystal Pepsi.
I think the joke was that Japanese soda also had a Crystal Pepsi-like following, and then disappeared.
Yeah, it might have, yeah. But yeah, they just went with a similar soda that had the same kind of thing going on.
And one thing that I don't want to say impressed, because she's a voice actress, that's her job, but after 15 some years, Kari Wahlgren sounds exactly the same.
I mean, she was an adult when she did it, and, she's an adult now still, so her voice isn't going to vary that much, I think, within that time frame. If she was, maybe from 45 going to, 60, maybe there'd be a slight change. It's more the problem when you have a young voice actor who gets older, and, puberty takes over, the voice changes, and it doesn't sound the same. Kind of like what happened with Gohan in DBZ, right? Gohan had, a child voice actor playing him all the way up until Cell Saga, and then we got Kyle A. Bear coming in to play adult Gohan, where before he was always the narrator. He plays adult Gohan in the Majin Buu arc, and from then on. Now, if you go into Kai, I forget if they brought back the same person to do Gohan and DBZ Kai, but it sounds completely different. If they did bring in the same person, that voice change between that time of doing Gohan and now drastically altered what Gohan sounds like.
But back to, like, underlying themes of it. Yes, Haruko still has a guitar that she uses as a weapon.
Oh, man. And, of course, she has to ride the Vespa, which she does not hit anyone with this time, which is disappointing. Or at least doesn't do so on screen.
Although Julia does smash her car directly into Hidomi and says, "Oh, she's going to be fine." That's a disappointment.
Oh, yeah, no, she wanted her dead. Because it's like, nope, I want to save you the problems that are going to happen later. May as well kill you now.
And the mom's like, "Wait, this is a disappointment? She's alive!"
Also, her mom's very bubbly. That's another thing we should mention. Nowhere near, like, the extreme that Hidomi goes to by episode 4, but she is bubbly like that.
And, like, her little cat headset, does it actually drill into her head, and that's what causes that?
Yes, it is. Or at least that's the visuals we get.
The earpiece does.
Yeah, that's the visuals we get. And on top of that, like, because Haruko wants to get it off, it drills in so that she cannot get it off.
So she's aware?
Hidomi is unaware of this completely, about it happening.
Okay.
As far as what Haruko knows, she only knows that the thing starts glowing red and now she can't get it off.
Okay.
And as a side character, could we just talk about Goro, the man in a skirt?
I mean, look, you told me he got a girlfriend, and I'm like, I don't buy it. That skirt, God, it's so unfashionable. There's no way a girl would like him with a skirt like that. Yeah. Well, actually, that's the other thing. Now that I'm thinking about, I'll mention this after we get done with Goro, but yeah. The dude wears a skirt, he's like a heavy-set guy, and yet by the end of the series, he gets a girlfriend. And yet there we have Marco, who's like tall, Latin-looking, and very like more masculine than Goro. And by the end of the series, he's got nothing. He's just in like a little baby cart that you like put a quarter into, and you have it like walk around a little bit. And I'm just like, this poor character, he's got nothing at the end.
But the fact of Goro's girlfriend was actually an actress, kind of, but Aiko is her name, and she pays people to go on dates. I mean, she gets
They pay her. She's a rent-a-girlfriend, basically, is the business she's running.
Okay.
But
And Goro literally tries to make it get Aiko as, like, a date, and pay her for it, but he does so just to try and impress his two friends, Ide and Marco.
But by the end, it seems that they do become a real couple.
Potentially. It's not really super clear, but it can be assumed.
Because he does catch her after she's free-falling, and she doesn't say, like, "Let me go, you pervert," or anything like that, because I'm pretty sure Aiko's naked at the end.
She is. And when they, like, catch up to her at the very end, with Goro and the other one, she's wearing his shirt, but, you know, at that point she's naked. I assume she'll take anything to, hide her indecency. Also, she's a plant girl. So, I don't understand what she is!
Is she a robot?
It doesn't seem like it, because she has plant growth.
She, only eats Soylent?
I don't know, right? Okay. She grows vines out of her body at one point, and I'm like, what even are you?
And she has I would say 200 foot tall antenna sprout out of her head that she's communicating from people who are some counter-resistance metal mechanica group or something.
I'm assuming they're part of the same government group as, the eyebrow guy, from the first one.
Because the old woman mentioned, oh, you have such cute tiny eyebrows like your father.
Yeah, that's literally the first reference we get as to, like, a timeline from what happened in the last series.
Although I think Eye Patch may have been in the original as well, now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't remember him if he was.
He may have been mentioned, or in the computer screen in the Resistance.
Maybe, but again, I do not recall. If he was there, he was not a prominent character. He was in the background. But yeah, it's weird because, like, shit's evolved. There's an amusement park where, like, a dodo guy is siphoning people's freaking brain power to fight the fucking iron factory at one point. And the factory just starts shooting out mochi and turning people into mochi.
Okay, I was kind of following the story up until the mochi, and I'm like, wait, why mochi?
Don't question it. There's a character in One Piece who just has, like, mochi powers. You don't question these things.
But it's Fooly Cooly. The mochi must be symbolic of something.
Nah, it's just mochi.
Wait, somebody turns people into mochi?
Are we talking about in Fooly Cooly or in One Piece right now?
In Fooly Cooly.
Whatever the mochi's made out of, like, if it gets on a person, they turn into mochi. That's what happens.
And
The fuck?
you do know what mochi is kind
Yeah.
of. It's kind of like this marshmallowy type of thing made from rice flour.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like ice cream. Kind
Also, there's ice
Gelatin.
cream-less mochi that's also very delicious.
I do like mochi.
Little sidestep, Trader Joe's has wonderful mochi ice cream. By the way, Trader Joe's, please sponsor.
Well, now you've killed any chance of that happening. Good job.
But I complimented their mochi ice cream.
Yeah, but you're begging, and they don't like begging. Unless it's Arby's, then it's perfectly fine.
Hold on just a second, the phone.
The phone.
Answer the phone. The phone. Yes, delicious mochi. It's quite good.
Yes.
And how mochi turns people into other mochi people.
Yes.
I don't understand why. It just happens. But, well, that's the other thing, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. This is something that came up while the mochi incident was going on, right? So the old guy and Eyebrow Chan's son end up getting crushed by the mochi. He hands over the saved up money that Aiko's been gathering with her whole rent-a-date business. And he mentions, like, how she's trying to buy her freedom. I'm like, how? What is she, an indentured servant? What is this?
I thought she was Eyebrow Kid's, like, daughter.
Well, if she's, like, synthetic, which, yeah, I'm leaning toward that being the case at this point with her whole plant visage and shit, I don't... Was she an experimental weapon? Is she, like... Is she even human? Because at this point, I don't know, because she takes in radio frequencies. Like, I don't know what she is.
I don't know either. But that's Fooly Cooly for you.
Well, there's the other thing, too, right? Where it's like, we get Conti back, which is great. It was cool to see him back.
Yeah.
Even his like, little dog form. And apparently he's still got a connection to Adamus, because that symbol keeps popping up on him.
And Adamus seemed a lot more bird-like this time around.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's his normal form, right? Because when he leaves at the end of season 1, he's in that form.
Oh, yeah. And
Every other time we've seen him, he's kind of been possessing someone.
And Haruko just desperately wants affection from him.
She wants the Bird Senpai's affection. She wants Bird Senpai to notice her.
Which is, like, her whole defining character arc ever since. Like,
Less
season
arc,
1.
more goal.
Motivation.
Less arc, more goal. Yeah. She wants Bird Senpai's affection and noticing. She can't help it. It's your obsession.
Bird person.
Birds.
That's what we call a dick move.
In my language, that means I need dire help.
This show needs like after every episode, it needs like an hour-long show that explains what the show's
hell
about.
Is going on?
I know.
Because
I
need to watch it.
Here's what else that I thought was really interesting, right? The whole first episode, they keep, like, cock-teasing us with freaking Naota the whole time. Like, we get a shot of, like, Naota's hair, and it's like, oh my god, Naota's back! Holy shit! And they won't show us. We just get, like, the forehead up. We get nothing. And then every time we cut to, like, maybe look at who he is, we get a first-person view. And I'm like, what the, come on!
And in the beginning, in the beginning when this was being teased and everything, people were saying Ide is high school, or in this case, maybe middle school, Naota.
It's hard to say, because at 14, you could be either or, and I'm not quite sure how Japanese schooling is cut apart.
I believe Japanese schooling is, and I believe we discussed this in a prior episode, but...
We did, I don't remember.
Say it last week.
So 10, 11th, and 12th is considered high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be like seniors in high school at that point, or middle school at that point. Or next thing to it, I guess. It would kind of depend on like birthday and when they fall.
Because I believe Naota was just entering middle school at the end.
He was 12 in Fooly Cooly in the original. So yeah, he might have just been entering middle school at that point. Or no. If he's 12, then he would have been... How is like elementary and middle school cut apart? When is that?
I think it's 7th, 8th, and 9th. But he
7th, 8th, and 9th. So yeah, he would probably just be getting into
middle school.
Because
he did have a fancy school uniform on.
Yeah.
When in the earlier shots in the series, he was just wearing everyday clothes.
Yeah. What was it? There was one last thing I wanted to mention too about Naota. Right. Jung, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure Jinyu mentions Naota at one point. Not by name, but she says, like when she's fighting Haruko at one point, like, hey, this is all because you tempted that kid. Now, she could be referring to Ide, but I feel like it's Naota.
Okay.
And because I think they're talking about because of the fact that they split apart. I think she's referencing that, and because of that, it's because she tempted Naota, or whatever.
And Naota is in the freaking outro.
Yeah, so's Mamimi. They're both there.
So,
That's the thing, though. We don't know where he is, either. Or his age, really. I wasn't 100% sure it was Naota at first, but it looked very similar with, like, his outfit and his hair. But because of the point of view it was at, it was hard to tell for certain. But I guarantee that the other one is Mamimi for certain. Because we just get her with, her camera out on, like, a bike watching falling stars happen.
And this series has so much good music. There's Little Busters. There's Last Dinosaur. There's...
What's that? Denver, the Last Dinosaur's in this? Oh, yeah!
No.
Barney?
Denver, the last dinosaur. He's my friend and a whole lot more. You alright over there? Did it break you yet?
No. But there's a lot of old Pillows music.
I love the theme for this song,
yeah.
for the series. I love "Thank You, My Twilight." I love the integration of that monotone, not monotone, but like the ringtone, the alarm that Hidomi has on her phone.
Which
that little
leads
chip tune,
into the song.
leads into the song and shows up again as the song plays. Like, it shows up at the intro, on the outro, and I think once or twice in the middle of the song as well. Like, you can hear it come in and out the whole time, and it sounds great.
Although I don't know if the Pillows will release any new music for alternative, but Progressive is just re-releases of, not re-releases, remasters of old Pillow songs sprinkled throughout.
Look, I'm okay with this, because this series would not have felt the same without that music.
Except for Spiky Seeds, which was the outro theme, which is a brand new song.
Also kind of says a lot about that outro sequence, too.
The name Spiky Seeds?
Uh-huh. Like, the fact that she's trying to absorb Adamisk, and it only forces her to split herself and then lose him. Just the name of that track alone says a lot about that situation.
Spiky Seeds?
Yes, it is amazing.
Is that the name of the song?
Yes.
Yes.
By
The Pillows.
The Pillows.
Oh.
The Pillows? Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, so there is a Pillows cover band. Do you want to guess their name?
The Blankets?
I'm literally gonna go with the pillowcases.
Correct.
There we
Yes,
go.
That was my
Hold
next guess.
Since they cover the Pillows, I think they play at anime cons and stuff like that.
Hey, if they can do it, great. I'd listen.
So I think we discussed all the notes you wanted to hit on for this normal bit.
I probably should have put together something for that. I didn't, but yeah, I guess we covered more or less what it is. I will say this. There's one last thing I wanted to mention, right? Is it just me, or is it literally a fetish sequence after Haruko, consumes Jinyu, and she's just in a pregnant kind of situation?
Is that called, vor or something like that?
I want to say no, only because you never get, Jinyu's point of view from the inside.
Oh, so vor isn't just the act of being eaten, but the act of being eaten plus the internal stomach view?
I want to say yes.
What?
I want to say that's the case. Either that or that's just a subset.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a fetish sequence. However, I was leaning more toward the fact that Karuko's now pregnant, and then starts going into a sexual position with Ide at one point.
Oh.
What's the bird person's name?
Adamisk.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like, this is literally just fan service for people that are like, I want to knock up Haruko. Because as far as I can tell, there's no reason it's there other than that. There's no other reason for her to have, that pregnant stomach going on.
Yes, Ryan, there are fetishes of being eaten.
There are a lot of weird fetishes.
There's
clown fetishes. I feel like that's even weirder.
So, stay tuned on a future episode. We will break down anime fetishes.
Does it have to be anime fetishes? Why not just fetishes in general? The internet is a vast and scary place.
That's too many.
Obviously, that's why it's like a multi-part series.
Yes.
Where we expose innocent young Orion to multiple weird fetishes.
I know a lot, but not one being eaten.
I think there's also birthing fetishes.
The weirdest one that I can think of is a spectrophiliac.
Is that
yeah.
wanting to bone ghosts?
Yes.
I could go off on a sub-tangent right now, but this episode's probably long enough.
Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, anyone? I mean, come on. Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School has way more than just ghosts in there. You got a shit ton that you can just play with right there. I mean, one's an undead mummy, so you got your necrophilia already.
One werewolf.
There's your furry.
There's your furry. Always a furry.
You got a vampire in there. who also turns into a bat. So I guess you got multiple going on with that one. It's a Frankenstein girl. You literally got like a disembodied hand that crawls around that you could just, get off to with that too. I'm not quite sure what that would be considered.
Handophilia?
Maybe? I don't know. If you're into dismembered corpses, maybe that could be one.
Okay.
We're getting too deep into this. We gotta stop. We gotta stop now, guys. It's too late.
I rolled a 15. We should end this now.
That's a 13.
Man,
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Yeah.
So, next time, we are going to go on a adventure. A bizarre adventure.
Uh-oh. That might be too much.
Oh, what kind of bizarre?
Dude, I'm teasing for next week.
It's literally, it's bizarre. That's all you need to know.
Yes.
I think I know, but maybe not. Alright, I guess we'll find out.
Yes. So stay tuned for that. So, until next week, see you later.
Wait, hold on. Alright, that's a 13, so yeah, I'll see you. Bye.
I rolled a 3. See ya.